Hello, my name is Alex Nervo. I will be discussing Israelis' right to occupy the West Bank. I first want to start off with saying that I actually visited Israel this last month. This whole summer I was there for the most part, and I actually studied this topic extensively with two different groups, the Zionist Organization of America and Passages. My first main point in this, okay, so let's talk about the West Bank and what is the West Bank. The West Bank is an area west of the Jordan River through the west embankment of the Jordan River. It didn't really get that name till in the last couple of decades, after around World War II. But for the last thousands of years, it has been called Judea and Samaria, and has been recognized by the Jews as the Jews' land. And they have always come back to their land. Okay. Many will argue that the West Bank doesn't belong to Israel, but they don't have any legal grounds to claim it as being theirs. So, okay. My first main point will be the country of Jordan never had legal ownership of the West Bank. So, in 1949, Jordan invaded Israel, and in 1950, they annexed the West Bank. But only two countries in the world recognized Jordan as being the legal ownership of the West Bank: England and Pakistan. The only reason England recognized it as being Jordan's is because they wanted to be done. They were the previous owners through the British Mandate. They wanted to be done with the West Bank. They were done. I'm done. They didn't want to have nothing to do. They thought this would lead to peace. Obviously, it hasn't. But yeah, they wanted to be done with the area. The second thing is Jordan's acquisition of the land was actually illegal under Article 2 of the UN Charter and international law. So I'll read a part of this for you so you kind of have some background and some context. No provision of this agreement shall be in any way prejudice to the rights, claims, and positions of either party hereto the ultimate peaceful settlement of Palestine in question, the provisions of this agreement being dictated exclusively by military considerations. Okay, so we'll start there. The thing is, the West Bank and the Gaza Strip have been considered ceasefire lines. They have become the de facto borders for both the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. Both of these are considered areas of Palestine. But it's kind of a little bit confusing because there's two different governments running each of these areas. And again, my topics is only on the West Bank. But with that being said, this is the General Armistice Agreement between Israel and Jordan, signed April 3rd, 1949. Basically, it's saying it's a disputed area. And the only way that it's going to be ever claimed by anybody is through military considerations. Okay, so somebody's going to have to invade somebody, and then one's going to have to, fall to the other. But that hasn't happened, so they're still under ceasefire lines. And up until 1967, actually, is when the lines were considered theirs through the peace treaty signed by Jordan. I'll get to that in just a minute, okay? So in 1988, Jordan gave up all claims to the West Bank. And in 1994, they signed a peace treaty. Here we go. They signed the peace treaty saying that, listen, this is Israel's land. We don't want nothing to do with it. They can have it. And so some people might say, oh, okay, well, this land belongs to Jordan. But Jordan doesn't even say it themselves that it belongs to them. So how can it be theirs? It can't. My next talking point will be that the laws of occupation, according to Article 49, subsection 6 of the Fourth Geneva Convention, do not apply to this Israeli settlements in the West Bank. Okay, so in order for the laws of occupation to apply, Israel must be occupying foreign lands. But again, like I told you, this is a disputed territory between the two, but then Jordan has given up all claims to the area. So how can they be occupying foreign lands? And 5 times has the West Bank been recognized by the UN, the one that's claiming this and claiming that the land is Israel's in 1920, 1922, 1945, 1948, and 1949. Okay, and I'm going to read Article 49, subsection 6 of the Fourth Geneva Convention right now. It goes like this: the occupying power shall not deport or transfer parts of its own civilian population into the territory it occupies, right? So they're not really occupying land that's foreign. It's theirs. It's theirs under all circumstances. Okay. Another thing to keep in mind is that the Fourth Geneva Convention does not apply here because both Israel and Jordan did not sign the Fourth Geneva Convention. They were there, but they didn't sign it, so it doesn't apply to them. Okay, and so again, like I mentioned to you, they gave up all claims to the land. Jordan gave up all claims to the West Bank in 1980, and then recognized it as Israel's. With this being said, the laws of occupation, according to Article 49, subsection 6 of the Fort Geneva Convention, do not apply here. In conclusion, Jordan never had legal ownership of the land and gave up all claims to the area in 1994 with the peace treaty. Nor is Israel in violation of any provisions of Article 49, subsection 6 of the Fort Geneva Convention. Furthermore, the Jews have recognized it to be theirs for thousands of years. Okay, thank you. Again, my name is Alex. If there's any questions, you can definitely let me know. Just want to let you know some of my sources were history.com, the Fourth Geneva Convention, Article 49, subsection 6 of the Fourth Geneva Convention, and Robert Stark.